Good morning. Yesterday, in the study group, we studied the Saleka Sutta. And in the Saleka Sutta, the Buddha describes meditation that, according to enlightened ones, is considered or called Ditta Dhamma Sukha Vihara. Vihara, dwelling. Sukha, dwelling in happiness. Ditta Dhamma. Ditta Dhamma. Ditta means seen. Dhamma just means like nature. So Ditta Dhamma means seeable or of a nature to be seen. Visible, immediately visible is the meaning. The meaning is that meditation, certain types of meditation, are for the purpose of being happy now, here, immediately visible. You don't have to wait for the future to be happy. Meditation is a peaceful abiding, vihara. It's a happy state of being. But he distinguished that from other types of practice. And what's interesting about the Saleka Sutta is that he seems to be limiting his praise or appreciation of this sort of meditation. And this is because Buddhism goes beyond just being happy. Not to diminish the importance of being happy, or even the importance of just being happy. But that is all it is. In the Sangiti Sutta, in the Digha Nikaya, we read about this word again in the context of 4 types of Samadhi Bhavana. This helps us to see within context, where do we place, what role, what place does Ditta Dhamma Sukha Vihara play? What place does it have? What role does it play? So there's no question that happiness is a positive thing, something wished for, desired for, something it's reasonable to be inclined towards. No one should ever think there's something wrong with being happy. Especially the type of happiness involved with meditation, because it's very far removed from any kind of lust or passion or addiction. You could say people who get addicted to the peace and calm, but it's not like an addiction to sensuality. Because when the time you're in it, you're not thinking bad thoughts, it's not like you have to steal it from someone else to be greedy or manipulate others for it. You're not thinking harmful thoughts towards yourself or anyone. Your mind is very pure. That's why there's happiness. For many people, this is all meditation means. This is all they hope to get from meditation. And it's a good thing. The problem is, of course, that it's not the best thing. It's not the perfect solution to life's problems, because you can't always be meditating. Some people who meditate like this actually do get in conflict with other people because they want to meditate all the time, and other people are angry or upset because of broken commitments and so on, expectations of engagement and so on. So if someone does become addicted to it and wants to meditate all the time, they can really get in conflict with others, and because this meditation doesn't actually help you understand how to deal with conflict, it's quite possible that you succumb to anger and conceit and arrogance and so on. Leave me alone, you don't understand, you non-meditators. How could you know what it's like? You're coming at me out of ignorance, only I know, you don't know, that sort of thing. Happiness is good, but it's temporary. You have to leave it. You can't always be happy, you can't always be meditating. Even if you were always meditating, that would be a temporary thing. And by temporary, I mean it could last for millions and millions of years if you're reborn in the Brahma world. Still temporary. Still not a solution, because you still don't understand the nature of reality, you still haven't understood suffering, the causes of suffering. There's something more profound in it. Happiness doesn't have any goal. It doesn't lead to anything. It doesn't go anywhere from there. Happiness doesn't lead to happiness. So it's limited, and it disappears, and then it comes and it goes. So it's considered the first type of meditation, of Samadhi Bhavana. The second type is called Jnana Dasana Patilabha. The acquiring of Jnana and Dasana. Jnana means knowledge, Dasana means vision. Some people actually do see things. It's actually quite common. When someone undertakes intensive meditation, often they will even be sitting with their eyes closed and feel like there is light shining in the window. Sometimes it even feels like the roof is gone and the sun is shining down. Some meditators open their eyes and check whether someone opened a door or something, turned on a light. Some meditators see colors and pictures, visions. Some of them are very clear. Some meditators see things far away, have clairvoyance. Could be clairaudience, doesn't have to be visual. Sometimes we have visions of memories in the past. Some people even have predictions of the future. They see things that haven't happened yet. and only to find them happen later on. Likewise, many meditators have jnana, knowledge. They'll learn things, they'll come to understand things about themselves, about their situation in life, answers to their problems. There are many sort of extrasensory benefits to meditation. There are meditations that are especially designed for the purpose of gaining such knowledge and vision, seeing things far away, seeing past lives, remembering past lives, reading people's minds, this sort of thing. And again, this isn't exactly the sort of thing we're aiming for in meditation. But really both of these two goals or benefits of meditation show the sort of uniqueness of this practice, of this activity we call meditation, Samadhi Bhavana. It's that it directly affects the mind. It's not an indirect source of happiness or an indirect source of knowledge or vision. It's direct. It is literally the development of the mind. It's not an indirect development of the mind. That's exactly what we're doing. And so you might say that, as I said, that happy states are not the real goal, and there's deeper states to be had, and that this sort of knowledge and vision is also not the deepest goal. But that's really not the point when talking about them. It's much more to reflect or reaffirm for ourselves that this is the way, this is the result and the nature of meditation. Because ultimately everything we do in meditation brings happiness. We can talk about Ditta Dhamma Sukha Vihara, this sort of immediate happiness, but all through the course of meditation, it's all involved in bringing about happiness. As we gain insight and understanding about reality, that makes us happier. Just having a clear state of mind clears up so much suffering. And of course, learning things, knowledge and vision, well, it goes beyond just seeing lights or reading people's minds or so on. How about reading our own minds, understanding our own minds? How about seeing more clearly our habits? Knowledge and vision is a very important intrinsic part of any meditation practice. Many things, many different ways you can see and know, but it ultimately it's an intrinsic part of meditation, the knowing and the seeing. Vipassana, we even call insight, or seeing clearly, we call this practice vipassana. So jnana dasana, happiness, meditation brings happiness. Jnana dasana, it brings knowledge and vision. The third benefit of meditation, or sort of type of meditation maybe, is sati sampajanya. Sati sampajanyaya. Samvatati. So for the purpose of sati, which we translate as mindfulness, and sampajanya, which is often translated as clear comprehension. Sati is the state of confronting the object objectively without judgment. In essence, not forgetting it, or not losing sight of it, not getting caught up in judgment or reaction or extrapolation, but remembering the actual experience. Sampajanya is the knowledge that comes when you do that. It's the knowledge of the experience. So the text mentions three things. The first is Vedana. We know about feelings. Painful feelings, pleasant feelings, neutral feelings. All three of these are an important object of meditation practice, because sati and sampajanya are for the purpose of keeping the mind objective, keeping the mind in a pure state, in a clear state. We cultivate this clear state of mind. Every time we say to ourselves, pain, pain, or happy, happy, we're able to experience the feeling just as it is. Happy feelings can lead very, very quickly to addiction if we're not clear in the mind. There's nothing wrong with pleasure. As I said, no one would argue that happiness is a problem. There's no problem with happiness. But with craving or desire, lust, all of these, there's a real cause for concern, because it can lead us to act and speak in ways that are to our own and other people's detriment. They're just not conducive to happiness, to further happiness. The addiction to happiness is ironically not a very happy thing. So sati sampajanya, you wonder why does this, what's the use of this? It's a very profound beneficial state, or beneficial pair of qualities, sati and sampajanya. So Vedana, with pain, it's as well. If you're not mindful of pain, it can lead to great suffering. Neutral feelings lead to great suffering, mostly from delusion. Neutral feelings breed states of calm and feelings of control, controlling the mind, controlling and stable. A sense of stability, like everything is going to be okay. That can be quite misleading, considering how unpredictable things are. So even the addiction to neutral feelings, calm feelings, can be quite dangerous. Well, problematic anyway. If we're not objective, if we're not clear in the mind, it can be a breeding ground for delusion and arrogance, conceit, attachment, all of these. After Vedana, the second one is Sanya, it says. Sanya is, unlike Vedana, it's our perceptions of things. Vedana is just experiences. Sanya, how you conceive of it. Is it loud, a loud noise? Quiet? People, my voice is too quiet. No, I can't hear you. It's also a cause for concern when you react to things. It's too loud. Someone was saying recently to me about dogs barking, and normally they'd get very angry, and after meditating, they just didn't get angry. They said hearing, and she said, normally I would go and yell at this person whose dogs were barking, but I didn't. And I just said hearing. Sati sampajanya, the Buddha said, Yani sotani lokasming sati te sang nivarayang. Nivarayang means sati prevents, or it blocks is the word. Blocks any sort of outpouring of the mind, where the mind would get caught up in something, get lost in something. And the third that is mentioned in the text is vitaka. Vitaka here I guess means thoughts. Watching them arise and cease, normally we get caught up in them, right? So after sanya, after perception, you perceive something this way or that way, then you have thoughts like, I should go and yell at this person whose dogs are barking, and so on. This is right, this is wrong, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve that, I deserve this, I deserve that. Any kind of thoughts that might then instigate action or karma, mental volition, mental reactions in the mind. Our thoughts, as any meditator can tell you, our thoughts are a real cause for concern. If we're not mindful and clear in the mind, they can lead us down very much the wrong path, where we get caught up in delusion and feedback loops of worry, anger, fear, addiction. If you think about how devastating and torturous bad memories are, worries about the future, all of these things have vitaka as a base thought when you think about something. The more you think about it, the more susceptible you are to reaction. And we become obsessive about things. When you say to yourself, thinking, you free yourself from that. Where thinking is just thinking, there's no cause for reaction, judgment. So sati sampajanya is really just that's why we put so much emphasis on it as a practice, because it's just the most practical way of living your life. It allows you to live and to be without the danger of evil or suffering. States of mind that cause stress and suffering. The fourth type of samadhi bhavana, or aspect or benefit of samadhi bhavana, goal of samadhi bhavana, is called asavanang kayaya samatati. The asava are the taints or the defilements in the mind. Defilements are just anything that involves reactivity and leads to suffering. A defilement is something that is a cause for suffering, or involved with suffering, something that increases stress in the mind, suffering. It increases bad behavior that hurts others or hurts ourselves. Kaya means the destruction. Asavanang kayaya, for the destruction of the asava. The destruction of the asava. I mean, in our minds or in our character, we have both arisen defilement, meaning we are angry sometimes, But on a deeper level, we also have the tendency, the susceptibility, the inclination to get angry. It's not just an arisen thing, sometimes angry, sometimes not. No, we also have a difference in terms of our susceptibility to getting angry. Some people are very quick to get angry or greedy, desirous, see something beautiful. One person might be unmoved, another person might be driven by lust to obtain the object of beauty or pleasure. And so Sati Sampajanya allows us to see this, but the real release or the real liberation comes about not as the practice whereby we are not reacting to things. Right? Because sati keeps us from reacting, so there's no arising anger or greed or delusion when you have sati. The real liberation comes about from what follows as a result of sati sampajanya, and that is wisdom and understanding, clarity. It's not the same as you practice you have no greed or anger or delusion. Otherwise we could just practice tranquility meditation, calm meditation, and that would be enough. No, the special quality of sati sampajanya is that not only does it keep us from defilement, but it allows us to see more clearly. What do we see? We see that everything inside of us and in the world around us is impermanent, momentary, arising and ceasing. That the people, places, and things that we think of as existing in the world are actually made up of moments of experience. That everything inside of us and in the world around us is therefore what we call unsatisfying. Suffering is the word that they use, but it means unable to be a source of true gratification and satisfaction. Unable because it's momentary. Not sukha. Something that is momentary can't really be in any way useful or good. It just means it's meaningless and useless. You can't use something that's here and gone in a moment. You can't depend upon it, you can't rely upon it, you can't think of it as being your source for happiness and peace and pleasure. And that everything inside of us and in the world around us is not me, is not mine, is not a self or a soul or an entity in and of itself. It's just an experience. Everything is just experiences, made up of moments. When you see this, it's different from not being greedy, angry, deluded. It eats away at the tendency, the inclination, the proclivity to become greedy, angry, and deluded. It changes the way we look at things, right? That's the whole point, is that our liking and disliking, our partiality, and our reactions to things, stress and worry, is all very much based on how we look at things, how we perceive things. This is worrisome, fearsome, desirable, unpleasant, undesirable. Those perceptions are based very much on concepts of stability, satisfaction, control, self, all of the things that I said we come to see are not real. When we come to see everything is unpredictable and momentary and uncontrollable and so on, we weaken and eventually lose our inclination to react. Why would you get angry about things when they're momentary? What is it you're getting angry about? Just concepts, just ideas. Whatever it is underlying the thing you're getting angry is already gone. And so this cuts off. This allows us to attenuate and eventually cut off in the sense of really just changing our minds, making a shift where the mind lets go. Ultimately, completely letting go and experiencing complete freedom. Release from any kind of inclination or attachment to samsara, to things that are ultimately suffering or unsatisfying. And this is the ultimate goal. This is the final goal and ultimate reason why we practice Samadhi Bhavana. But as you can see, all four of these provide descriptions of parts or aspects of the practice. All meditation is pleasant, and the best meditation is pleasant in the sense of leading to happiness or involving the cultivation of happiness over suffering, over stress. It involves knowledge and vision, of course. That's what we're describing here, seeing more clearly, knowing things we didn't know before, understanding things we didn't understand before. It involves sati sampajanya, which is the engagement with reality in a wholesome, productive, skillful, beneficial way. And it involves freeing us from our bad habits, our wrong perceptions, wrong understandings, wrong in the sense of our understandings, perceptions, inclinations that led us to suffering, led us to stress, led us to evil, unwholesome states that hurt us and hurt others. When we free ourselves from those, we have accomplished the goal. So, these are the four Samadhi Bhavana. 4 aspects, types, 4 ways of looking at Samadhi. That's the Dhamma for this morning. Thank you.